In this video, I'm going to share a few examples of incorrect freelancer delegation and how you can alchemize those into effective, profitable, happy, fun, good, happy, great time delegation. Trademarked. So this is part 2 of another video where we talk about kind of like the fundamental educational part of where freelancers usually go wrong with delegation. So if you haven't checked that out yet, maybe we'll link to it up here, maybe we'll put it in the description, but it'll be helpful context for you. And then this video is basically just a bunch of example situations. So let's dive in. In the case of W freelancing, the biggest thing, low-hanging fruit, was like video editing. I like making the videos, I like planning the videos. I don't like editing the videos, but it doesn't require Zach's secret sauce to edit the videos. It's just a pretty predictable, pretty consistently done thing. We create the structures to make it simple and boom, we can delegate it. So think about that with you. And then the examples that I have down to share with you are these. So I mentioned the metrics one. I won't get into that, but something that was interesting that I think might give you some ideas. So I said that I thought it would be really hard to delegate conversion rate optimization. But what I've found as I've been doing the work more and more is that the actual secret sauce work that I do, in air quotes, it's kind of, it's basically just a stack of different approaches. Because I've found that, like, it's really not that secret of sauce. Most of what I do in the conversion rate optimization business is like, I have some theory about what'll work, and then I roll it out, and then I learn, oh, it didn't work. So I guess I'll try something else. And I just do that on repeat forever, and eventually shit works. And when you find a winner, you lean into it, and then you iterate on that. And that's the whole business. And when I'm wrong 90% of the time, but I'm right 10% of the time, and that 10% makes big impact, it doesn't matter, because that's all it's about. It's not about being right all the time. It's just about knowing when I'm right versus when I'm wrong. And what strikes me is, like, I'm wrong 90% of the time. Am I really so special? Is that 90% like actually that much better than if I had a team member be wrong 90% of the time? I don't know. And it's kind of just helped me appreciate that if the objection to delegating to a team member is that they wouldn't be as right as you or do as good of a job as you, like, I'm already not right. And so I've been looking at, like, what kinds of tests am I actually running when I'm doing the conversion rate optimization? What are the different types of things that I'm changing? And what type of person could handle that thing? So I said earlier that the reason it's hard to delegate this stuff is because it's like this Venn diagram overlap of copywriting, design, development. And in general, most people only have one type of thing. Usually someone's either a developer or a designer or a copywriter. And I know from experience how hard it is to, like, try to find someone who's all of them. But here's an interesting thing. And this is where I think you might get ideas. What I found is that usually a test I roll out, like, if I'm going from the Zach unicorn approach, maybe I blend all those skill sets. But I've been doing some experiments to see, what if we had a given test just lean into one of those skill sets? So for example, I recently did an A/B test where, so I do top of funnel conversion rate optimization, which is like, if someone has a website and you have one of those pop-up opt-in forms, I change the form and see how many people opt in with this form versus that form. That's like my whole job. I tried one test where the only thing I changed was the 3D image of the thing you're signing up for. So, like, for example, we have a free course called Charge What You're Worth that helps you create a really valuable offer so that you can close more deals and get paid more, which is at dyf.link/offer. Pretty meta what I just did there, yeah? So when you go to our website, we've got that pop-up opt-in form, and we show like a 3D image of what this thing is that you're signing up for. But it's a 9-day email course, so it's not like I'm going to show an image of Gmail or something. So usually what it would be is like some sort of cover that we might design in Canva and then smack on our iPad. What I did as a test is said, okay, well, what if that cover smacked on an iPad? And then what if it's smacked on like a 3D notebook binder? Or what if it's on a binder that's in someone's hand? How would these things affect it? So I ran a whole test where all I did was changed the 3D render. I ran a different test where all I changed was the 2D part. So the same 3D render, but with a different 2D cover. I did a different test where I said, okay, well, let's pretend we didn't do any of that. And we just did like human image generation with Midjourney or with Dolly from ChatGPT. Ran a test with that. Did a different test where all we changed is headlines. And what's kind of cool is that when you approach it this way, suddenly you see that each of these tests, maybe Zach conceptualizes it. Maybe Zach's the one to say, you know, I think we should do an iPad for one, and I think we should do a binder for another, and I think we should do a blah, 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 blah. But that conceptualization, which I would say is the secret sauce part, doesn't really take a long time. It takes like maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes. But the designing of the images takes me several hours. But I don't need to design the images. We just created this sales page for the W Rates Toolkit, which is at wfreelancing.com/rates-toolkit, I think. If you're on there, you'll see we have all these like 3D images. Mari, the video editor, designer, keyword person, all sorts of things person, she was the one who designed those. And it struck me while having her do those, you know, Mari could totally do this for the CRO stuff. And that's what I want you to think about is like, if you break down your secret sauce, you know, most secret sauce is made of like ketchup and mayo and paprika. Most secret sauce is not so crazy. And I think probably one of my favorite takeaways from Mike Michalowicz's Clockwork book, Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time book, all of the things that talk about delegation, like the big takeaway is you're not actually that special. You just haven't taken the time yet to think about what your Venn diagram of secret sauce is. And if you do, and you can separate the circles and you can find a way to have the circles be done in isolation without requiring all the other circles, then you're golden because you can use your secret sauce where it matters most and have people on your team or automation or leverage help take care of these things in the way that doesn't require all those skills. And the more that you can have yourself only doing your secret sauce and having cheaper things doing the stuff that doesn't require all your skills, the more you'll be able to earn. Because at the end of the day, if you have all this secret sauce, but you're still doing low-level tasks, like let's say that in a given 6-hour workday, you spend 1 hour on the super secret sauce stuff that only you can do. You spend 4 hours on stuff that you might have to pay someone like, I don't know, $30 to $60 an hour to delegate to. And you spend an hour on like copy paste tasks that you could probably have like a $3 an hour VA do. That means you're spending 15% or whatever 1/6 is. Is it 16.67%? I don't remember. You're spending however much of your time on something that is not that valuable, on something that no one would ever want to pay you $500 an hour to copy and paste stuff, right? But if your total time is comprised of 15% of all of it going to that kind of stuff, it means that that stuff is like dragging down the thing as a whole. Because if you imagine that like the amount of money you take home is the value per hour of each discrete task you do, then you'll see, oh my gosh, if I were doing this all the time, this little secret sauce thing all the time, I could make so much money because I could deliver so much value. And we get more into this in the Charge What You're Worth course as we're talking about the concept of value for freelancers. But it just kind of really helps to, at least for me, helps me appreciate like where should I be spending my time and where should I not be. So to wrap all this up, the best action step here in my mind is to get good at tracking all your time. I really like the process I learned from Dan Martell in Buy Back Your Time for doing this. I have some posts on the site. I need to update it, but I go into my process, which is kind of a permutation of his. If you're in DYF University, I lay it all out in the Time Mastery course. We don't currently sell it standalone because I know that no one wants to buy a time tracking course, but if you're in there and you're getting value out of all the other stuff, take that one because it's my favorite course that I know nobody ever will want to buy. If you're not in university, it's basically the unlimited all access pass to all of our courses we've ever made and will ever make. And you can learn more at dyf.link/university. But yeah, for now, track your time and be asking yourself, like, what's the recurring stuff that takes time every week that I should not be doing? What's the stuff that's pulling down my effective hourly rate because it's not delivering value for my clients? It's just a task that needs to get done. And look at ways that you can like reduce the variability, delegate it, quantify it, SOPify it, etc. And if you haven't taken the free Charge What You're Worth course yet, that'll help you get more of an idea of value and basically show you how you can create an offer that'll help you get more leads, more sales, and earn more per hour. And you can join that for free at dyf.link for, oh gosh, this little Apple thumbs up. Anyway, stupid Apple thumbs up. CTA, yeah. dyf.link/offer. That's where the Charge What You're Worth course is. And yeah, you know, a bit of a rocky ending for the words coming out of my mouth, but rolling with it. Thanks for being here and see you in the next video.